Hello and welcome to the Adventures podcast. I'm your host, Dineo Mashiane, and I'm thrilled to take you on a journey through the dynamic world of communications and advertising. Each episode, I'll explore captivating topics, chat with industry experts, and uncover the secrets behind successful campaigns. The ACA's mission through this podcast is to inform, educate, and entertain you. So whether you're a lifelong learner or just curious, join me for an exciting adventure. Welcome to another episode of the Adventure podcast, where we explore the stories, solutions, and partnerships shaping the future of South Africa's advertising and communication sector. I'm your host, Dineo Mashiane, and today we're diving into something every creative and agency should know about: insurance that's designed specifically for our industry. Thanks to a partnership with GIB Insurance, ACA members now have access to film and abandonment insurance at exclusive discounted rates. And here's the best part: no underwriter approval needed. To help us unpack what that really means in practice, I'm joined by someone who knows this inside out: Refilwe Morapeli, client executive at GIB under the Film and Entertainment Division. Welcome to the podcast, Refilwe. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you, Dineo. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad that you could be able to join us. I've been antsing for this interview to find out so much more about insurance. I'm excited, and I hope our listeners are excited. And I know that it's going to be a wonderful discussion. So, yeah. So, I'd just like to say that every episode, I spring up an icebreaker called Two Truths and a Lie.
Okay.
And it's just in order to get to know you or GIB better. And I'm basically testing my woman's intuition as well, I guess, as part of it. So no
I
pressure.
mean, it is Women's Month, so I hope you get it right.
You see, now there's pressure. I just said no pressure. Now I'm feeling the pressure. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to sweat at all. So whenever you're ready, you can take it away.
Okay. I think the first one is I love food and I eat absolutely anything and everything. The second one, sorry, is I have watched and read every single Harry Potter movie series, everything. And then the third one is um, I have not traveled outside of the continent.
Sure. Refilwe, you're making this difficult for me. Um, Very difficult. Mm-mm. I'm gonna have to say the first one is a lie, the one about eating everything. I'm not
Mhm.
sure about that one. I'd have to say it could be a lie. Harry Potter, I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I don't know, maybe I'm projecting on you. So maybe I think that's a big truth. And then the third one, you traveling outside of the continent, I have to believe that you have. So
Hmm.
those are my two truths, and the lie is that you eat absolutely everything and anything.
Okay. Do we need a drum roll? The lie is the Harry Potter one. I've never watched a single movie or read a
Oh,
single book. And
wow. No. You know
I'm a
what,
big
Refilwe?
foodie, big foodie. Eat
Really?
everything.
Wow. Really? Oh,
Yes.
that's incredible. That's incredible. Wow, I would have never expected that. I'm thinking, you know what? Harry Potter is such a great, like I was saying, I'm probably projecting because Harry Potter is probably the first thing that I've ever watched. So I just thought, you know what? You're in the film and entertainment division.
I know.
You must be a Harry Potter fan, you know?
Every time I tell people this, they always get shocked because everyone I know has watched at least one. So I'm like that one person who doesn't know a single thing, clueless.
No, but it's not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing. So that was actually really great. Wow. Wow, now I know a little bit more about yourself, about you, and now I think the ice has been broken, right?
Cool. I'm glad.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I guess then before we step into the questions, maybe if you'd like to give us a brief bio of who you are as well, just before we hop into the questions.
No problem. So I am Refilwe. I have been in the insurance industry since 2017, 2018. So I've been in this for quite some time. I started off in the film division and I have absolutely loved it. I find your industry so amazing. So it's cool to be working with, creatives and people in the industry while also doing something that I love, which is numbers. Most people find that boring, but I just love mixing the two together. I am a graduate as well, so I love learning. I love learning new things. I believe that you can never ever stop learning. So that's just me.
That's incredible. There's no such thing as like ever stopping to learn. Continuous learning is an everyday thing. It just continues. Every time you learn something, you want to learn something else. You want to get a bigger challenge. So I completely understand
Yeah.
it. Okay, so now getting hot into the questions.
All
For
the
those
serious
who,
stuff now.
yes, yes, all the fun stuff is done now. But I'm hope this is going to be fun as well. So, for those who may not be familiar, what exactly does GIB insurance do? I know I had a little bit of a blunder at the beginning and pronounced it a different way towards a certain business school, but you corrected me and said, no, it's GIB insurance. So, for my listeners as well, we want to know what exactly does GIB insurance do, and how does it fit into the world of marketing and advertising?
So, a GIB insurance, we are actually brokers, also called intermediaries in the financial sector. We basically facilitate insurance needs for our clients, and our clients in this division is the marketing and agencies from the advertising industry. And we facilitate that insurance with insurance companies. So we just that middleman that makes sure that whatever provisions that we make for your insurance needs are met. We make sure that we provide a service that is pleasing for you as the client, but at the same time, we make sure that you are also financially protected in the event that anything goes wrong.
Mm,
That's basically what we
okay.
do. But our industry focuses a lot more on the ad agency. So we do so much more than just the film space. We also take care of the event space. So we work with event
Mm,
organizers as well. So I would say it's a very exciting and fun division to be in because we get to see all of these things. But at the same time, we do realize the pivotal role that we play for your industry to make sure that your industry doesn't run out of money whenever things go wrong, because we never have anything in our control.
that's true. I mean, taking it back to COVID, I mean, those were some unprecedented times for us. And I'm sure a lot of agencies probably didn't know how to work around that. And I'm sure GIB had, you know, ways of ways of, you know, getting into that and helping
Mhm.
support agencies during that time, you know?
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. Hmm. It's very funny when you think about the creative industry, you don't the first thing that comes to mind, you don't think, hey, we need insurance. So I
Mhm.
think this episode is going to be very important to help agencies realize that, you know what, actually you do need it. You might not know for what, but it is important in an aspect, and it's something that should definitely be taken into serious consideration. So with that being said, GIB has a partnership with the ACA. How did that come about? And how has that bridged things over between the creative industry and insurance?
So, in terms of our partnership with the ACA, we have obviously seen that gap and the need for insurance whenever producers go out and shoot. So, the basic cover that we provide is cancellation and abandonment, as well as personal accident. So, these are covers in the event that there's an interruption on set and the weather's
Mhm.
looking bad and you have to pack up, or someone gets injured on set. But it's not just that we cover. We cover many, many other things. But when agencies don't know how to handle a situation like that, they obviously need to call someone. What do we do? People still need to get paid. Also, you need to hire that crew again to come back. So when we fostered this partnership, we also wanted to make sure that we provide coverage that is exclusive to the association, because we know that this association also stands for a lot of great values within the industry. So their values also align with us as insurance experts. So that's pretty much why it's important to just have that in place.
Mhm. No, definitely understood. And could you maybe perhaps let us know what are some of the biggest risks marketing and advertising agencies face today that most people actually overlook?
I think the most prevalent one has always been AI, but I think that also affects a lot of industries collectively. But I don't see it as something bad. I think that it is a risk that we can all embrace.
Mm,
It can help us. So if we can use it to help us, as well as your industry, then it will essentially make us better instead of having it be the biggest threat to all of us. But that's been the biggest talk around, the biggest risk that we're facing. But I think at the moment we're also seeing a lot of AI affecting the amount of TVCs that are put out there. Everything is going digital. So on the other side, looking at the industry, that's what I'm seeing a lot of. And yeah, it reflects also in the budgets that we see. They spend a lot more on the digital part of everything else. Um, so yeah, I think that's one of the prevalent risks that our industry is seeing.
sure, sure. And as let's say now as ACA members and we are facing there's a creative agency that is facing this issue. How do you guys now alleviate that, or how do you guys step into that front where we are seeing these rising challenges within the usage of AI?
Hmm. I think what we've always tried to do is, number one, understand who you are as an industry.
Mm,
Financial sector and the creative sector are very, very different. So our job is to, number one, understand what you guys do. Number two, there's always changes. So we also have to adapt to those changes. How the policies or the insurance policies look today are very different from how they looked 10 years ago, 20 years ago,
mm-hmm,
because we didn't have as much technology. So we are always constantly changing and tweaking how our policies are to make sure that it aligns with the changes that are happening in the creative space as well. We know that, there's a lot more content type of productions that are happening. It's no
mm-hmm.
longer the big cameras. Sometimes you're using a phone, so how can we exclude covering, the use of a phone for your production. We can't do that because that's what's happening now. So we're
Yeah.
always constantly trying to adapt to the changes that are happening in the creative space as well. Yeah.
Wow. Sure. No, that's definitely great. And I guess I'd also be very curious to know if there are any examples where a brand or an agency got into trouble because they didn't have the correct coverage. Have you ever encountered anything like that? You do not need to disclaim the brand agency or name or anything, so you could just give us an example.
Well, do you have the whole day?
It can't be that bad. It can't be
It's
that
it
bad.
it's not too bad, but we've seen it happen quite a lot. And I think the one thing I should highlight is that insurance to anybody is always a grudge purchase.
Hmm.
Someone always waits for something to go wrong, then they realize, oh my goodness, I actually need insurance. And that's what's unfortunate. Um, but we've seen in specific situations where, some agencies would go on shoot without any cover at all. Yeah, and because they don't feel, that that particular shoot has too much of a risk, or maybe the budget is not as high. And I understand if maybe a budget is not high, but if anything were to happen, do you have that extra 20,000 Rand in your pocket? Do
Sure.
you have that extra 50,000 Rand in your pocket? So even if the budget seems overall low, but if every single possible thing were to go wrong, I don't think any one person would have that extra cash to pay everybody else to come back again.
Yeah.
So we've seen a lot of that happen. And we've also seen some agencies and other companies as well um, not disclose, certain type of equipment that they have, and that particular equipment gets damaged. But because there's no insurance in place, we can't help. So yeah, we've,
Sure.
we've seen quite a lot. We've seen quite a lot. So that's why we always encourage everyone to just take out the insurance, then you don't have to worry. You
Yeah,
don't have.
definitely.
Mm.
Do you think that it could also just be like just a lack of, I don't know if saying it's a lack of education regarding insurance within like the creative industry? Do you think that's why also like some agencies are just like, you know what, we don't need it. Besides cutting budgets and cutting costs and stuff, could it just be that little teeny bit of like misinformation or like lack of education on their side?
I think it could be, but at the same time, I don't like the blame shifting because I also think
Mm,
that we have a responsibility to make all the creatives aware at the same time.
yeah.
So I think that it is also our responsibility to make sure that everybody knows what is available, what tools they have. But it definitely would help if everybody has, the right information,
Mm,
access to that information as well, that we will see better decisions being made. So
yeah.
I think it's a responsibility from both sides, in my opinion. Yeah.
Correct. Very correct.
Mm.
Now, earlier on, I mentioned when I was introducing you that the ACA members have access to film and abandonment insurance as well as exclusive discounted rates, right? And it also includes no underwriter approval. So I wanted to ask you, what does that all mean, basically, for somebody that's coming in with a fresh mindset, blank canvas, all of those big words, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, sure, you know? What does it
Um,
all mean?
So what this means is the policy that we basically have in place. Number one, we do not offer that coverage to anybody else but the ACA and all its member agencies.
Hmm.
The rates that we offer are significantly low. versus when going out to a different insurer or outside of the scheme that we've put together.
Yeah.
So where you will see rates, and I think a lot of producers would know what I'm talking about, but when we look at rates, we're speaking about something as low as 8.6% if they want weather cover
Hmm?
versus, excuse me, when they go outside of the scheme, they're looking at about 35% or 40%. And in terms of value for money, that is a huge difference.
Yeah.
We also package this scheme or this insurance with a lot of added benefits in terms of coverages, um, that are offered. Whereas when you go to anyone else, you always need to buy everything extra. I mean, look at your normal car insurance. If you want, an additional car in the event that you're in an accident, you must pay more. If you want this,
Yeah.
you must pay more. You always need to pay more. Whereas on this scheme, we've basically tailored it into a package, essentially. So they don't need to go through, having to do a tick box of, oh, I didn't know this was there and I had to buy it. Whereas we offer what's available to them. They know what's available from
Sure.
the beginning. Yeah.
Wow. That's really incredible. That's some super stuff.
Hmm.
Wow. And when it comes to common mistakes, I think
Yes.
you might have actually covered it just a teeny bit, but maybe if we could look at it a bit more in depth. The most
Mhm.
common mistakes agencies or brands make when it comes to insurance.
I think the most common mistake is assuming that what they don't tell us is covered. Um, so if you don't tell us anything, we won't know. So
Mm,
I've always encouraged all creators to tell us every single thing. Don't miss it, even if you think it's small or insignificant. Let us know. If, for example, you've got a car, on your set, tell us there's a
yeah.
car, because then we will highlight what you can do, what covers are available, what you can't do with that vehicle to
Mm,
avoid an instance where there's a claim and you did something that you were not supposed to do. So that is the biggest common mistake. And the principle behind insurance is making sure that whoever is responsible for putting your insurance together, make sure you tell them every single detail so that in case something happens, you told them, you've disclosed
mm,
it, and you're covered, or all the risks around what you have there. So I
yeah,
would say that's what it is. Yeah.
sure. No, that's truly incredible. And I think we're almost nearing wrap up, but
Oh, quickly.
before before we leave, are there any policies that people buy but they don't actually need, or vice versa, things that they absolutely need but don't have, which I think is a part of it's something that we've also lightly touched on.
Mm. Um, People, I think in terms of insurance, you're always going to need insurance for something. Um,
Always.
Always, always. I think I'm like a true advocate for that. Um, but I think I've seen instances where maybe people get confused by what they're buying. So they might buy different types of policies that they don't really need because they maybe didn't understand what they were buying. Maybe they were convinced that this was the right policy for them,
Mm-hmm.
and they just take it up. So, we've seen quite a few of those, but I think in the film industry, the entertainment industry, there's always guidance as to what you need to take and what you don't need to take. So
Yeah,
there's a little bit more clarity in terms of that. Um, but this is why you have brokers. I think
yeah,
brokers essentially help with that, where you don't need to deal with maybe somebody who is cold calling you selling you something and you think you need it, we will always tell you, if you don't need something, you don't need to take it. But if you do need something, please do. So we always guide
Definitely.
creatives, especially in this industry, always guide them in terms of that and making sure that they've got the right policies, the necessary policies, because we definitely don't want you to take something that's not necessary, and waste
Yeah.
money on top of the tight budgets you guys always have. So we don't want to put you at a disadvantage at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Mm,
right. Very right. And
mm,
I think that's actually such an incredible thing that you guys actually do. And to hop into the next question, I'm very curious to know how easy is the process of getting insurance with GIB, um, as a member agency with the ACA? You know, what perks or how easy is the process compared to being from a private agency?
mm. It is so easy. It is so easy, you wouldn't believe me. So we are available on our cells. We also have a mailbox that we've shared with all the agencies as well. Um, where if you need the cover, we will always guide you in terms of how to fill out the proposal forms. We've also got really exciting videos on how, this cover works and things like that. Our proposal forms are like 3 pages long, so it's not like a 15-page thing that you need to
Yeah,
complete. And if you do need guidance, which is okay, we are always there to guide you from question number one till the last question. We really don't mind. Another easy thing is that you already would have the rates in front of you. So looking at your budget, how much insurance premiums you're going to get and how much you would be covered for in advance. Whereas if you are an agency outside of the ACA, all the policies are rated differently depending on how much your budget is, depending on where you're shooting. So there's a slight difference in how the insurers and we assess that risk versus when you're on the scheme, you already have, the rates to calculate your premiums. You already know
yeah,
you're covered for this, this, and that in advance. So it's really, really easy, but at the same time, we're also very accessible.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
right. And another thought that just popped into my mind, I'm thinking, once you've gotten the insurance, how is there like a holding period or a waiting period before you can claim? Or how does it work? How does GIB do it, in terms
So
of claiming?
So the claiming process is also very easy. You just give us a call. Some creatives, they do pop us a WhatsApp quickly if they are busy on set trying to handle things, which is still fine.
Mm,
Give us a call and tell us something's happened or I need help with this, and we can immediately open the claim with the insurers. And we also have our claims broker within GIB to help. There's no waiting period at all.
mm,
Even our claims, so the claims on the scheme, we already pay you out within 10 days.
sure.
Whereas with other insurers, it takes a little bit longer. Um,
Yeah.
and with claims, we also appoint a loss adjuster within the first 24 hours, latest 48 hours. You already know that you've got a meeting to talk through your claim with somebody who is from the insurer's side. So it's very, very easy. There's no waiting period whatsoever.
Wow.
Hmm.
What I've learned from this is actually so much. And you guys are so easily accessible as well, so it's not an overwhelming or frustrating process. It's just, it's all there thick, laid and cleared out for us. So I really love that. I mean, it's some incredible work that you guys are doing there at GIB. And if there's anything that I've taken away from this is that you always, always, always need insurance. Always, always.
Yes, always,
Definitely.
always.
Yeah. And now, Refilwe, if I may ask you, how does one get into contact with GIB,
Mhm.
whether it's on social media? Do we follow you on social media? Or, are there email addresses or contact details that anybody who's listening to this today can then say, you know what, actually, I need to get this. It sounds like a good deal. How can they contact you and how can they reach you? Yeah.
No problem. So we are available on all social media platforms. If you specifically want to post or see content from the GIB Film team on LinkedIn, we are GIB Film and Entertainment. And then our mailbox, you can always email us at film@gib.co.za, or you can email myself, which is refilwe@gib.co.za. And yeah, we can take this conversation forward. Please ask us any questions. As soon as you mail us, you will have someone contact you, including myself.
Lovely. That sounds incredible. Lastly, I'd just like to thank you so much, Refilwe, for taking out your time. I know it's never easy to find a slot or a gap, but you made this time to come through to the Adventures podcast and school us on insurance. So I'm heavily excited about that. And I hope our listeners are going to be just as excited as I am when this gets released. So
Thank you so
thank you very
much.
much, Refilwe.
Thank you, Dineo. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Adventures podcast. I hope you enjoyed our journey through the world of communications and advertising. If you found this episode informative and entertaining, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners just like you. Don't forget to follow us on social media at ACA South Africa and visit our website www.acasa.co.za for updates and behind-the-scenes content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the fascinating world of communications and advertising.